All right, James. Now that I got a little bit of my triple double energy out, let's do some Rockets roundup.
Yeah, boy.
And Rockets, they had a really good stretch. They've been up and down the last few days. They had that amazing win against the Atlanta Hawks. Then they got curb stomped by the Cavaliers, which my favorite part about that game was Steven Silas pulled the magic trick where he said, I'm not gonna be here anymore. He just started shaking. He's like, I'm not gonna be here
Yeah.
anymore. I'm dehydrated. I need fluids. He was like, I'm not. Fuck this. This game's done.
Yeah.
That's a veteran move. That's how you know his father was a coach, right? That's how you
That's
know he's
right.
around the NBA. He's like, fuck, I'm getting the fuck out of here. This
Yeah.
ain't worth my time.
Should,
Um,
should I hit the timer for 6 minutes?
yeah, let's do the timer for 6 minutes, and I'll let you go first
Okay. All right.
since you have a rant here.
I've got a little bit of a rant. Okay. I spend far too much of my time on Rockets Twitter, as you know.
Yes.
And one thing I've noticed is that there's a divide on Rockets Twitter between Rockets fans slash analysts who are future focused and those who really just live in the moment, right? And the former camp wants to see a Christian Wood trade, which is the camp that I fall in. And the latter thinks it's morally repugnant that anybody would advocate for a Christian Wood trade. And I find that often the justification for why we couldn't possibly trade Christian Wood is he's our best player. And I just want to say that that doesn't matter. When you are one of the worst teams in the league, right? You don't put value on a guy because he's your best player. You have to assess where he falls in the league, right? Now, I would say that Christian Wood is like a fringe top 30 player, right? There's 30 teams in the league. So if you do the math, that means that he wouldn't be the best player on almost any other team. So the fact that he's our best player is the entire problem, right? We need to trade him so that in 5 years, a top 10 player is our best player, right? Or a top five player would be nice, like
Fuck, a top
it
20 player would be better.
would be better. Yeah. Like, it's like, oh, how could we trade him? He's our best player. Like, we're one of the worst teams in the league, right? It doesn't matter who our best player is. To conclude it, when I look across the league, the only team that you could pluck Christian Wood off the Rockets and put on, and he would be unequivocally their best player, is the Orlando Magic. Even then, Cole Anthony probably is like, on his heels, right? But even the Pistons, I think Jeremy Grant is probably a little bit better. But it's like, and outside of that, there's no team where he's even in the conversation. The worst teams in the league, he's not the best player on them. So I really, every time I see somebody say we shouldn't trade Christian Wood because he's our best player, my skin crawls, man.